Alright, round 12, Historic. Playing against Arclight Phoenix, on the draw. With Jeskai control. This is not a hand that really does anything, but Narset's pretty appealing. Turn 1 considers a good sign. It makes it slightly less likely to go off on turn 3. And keep the card. It's also probably good? I don't know. I'm kind of just saying things. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Alright, Molten Impact's interesting here. I was planning to go for like turn 3 Narset, but now I have the Molten Impact here and Expressive Iteration next turn if they play a creature, which is like super good if they draw Ledger Shredder and don't immediately pump it.
Announcement received.
Also kind of hoping they don't just go
started.
Off. Alright, Expressive Iteration on their turn is what gets weirder. Now I really want to draw an untapped land that lets me play Narset. That's the best case scenario. Untapped land that lets me play Fable of the Mirrorbreaker is fine. I just don't really want to play Expressive Iteration. Shock pass. No, debating playing a creature or not. I would like them to play Dragon's Rage Channeler. That would let me Expressive Iteration without fear of wasting this Molten Impact trigger. They elect not to. Bummer. Okay. No, they just consider it on my end of turn. Okay. Instant creature, sorcery lands, so that is Delirium. More Expressive Iterations. And Unholy Heat now kills Narset, and I will not be able to do anything about that. Believe I'm cycling this to try to hit my land drop, naturally. Okay, good move, turned out to be necessary. So I could Narset downtick, force the Unholy Heat. Is that better than Fable? I don't believe that that's better than Fabling, although I'm giving the opponent a lot of open room to do whatever they want here. But I think getting Fable ticking down and threatening to start copying Saiba Syphoner nonsense is what I'm actively looking for. I don't think playing Narset into a super likely Unholy Heat here has enough merit to do. That's a lot of Expressive Iterations. Lantern's moderately annoying, but taxes their mana in a way that isn't Arclight Phoenix this turn. Okay. Debating if they want to Unholy Heat this 2-2. I believe I want to get rid of Raugrin Triome and Expressive Iteration here. I think I'm just that desperate to hit the untapped land. Maybe I'm supposed to get rid of the Saiba Syphoner over the Raugrin Triome. Don't believe that's correct. Alright, sweet. Do we want to Unholy Heat the 2-2 before I get a treasure opponent? No. Okay. So we are content to Unholy Heat my Narset then. Understandable, likely even correct. We have no mystical disputes in the main, so I don't have to worry about shocking this Hallowed Fountain before playing the Narset.
If you wish to surrender now, I meditate and prepare.
Another Narset would be cool, but I actually do think that I value this first Archmage's Charm a little more highly. Gives me another thing I can do on their turn to trigger Molten Impact other than just marching. I feel like they're pretty committed to heating the Narset here, but I suppose I do not know the exact contents of their hand. Okay. That makes the Saiba Syphoner a lot better. There's the Unholy Heat. I do not want Archmage's Charm to protect that. Here's the Faithless Looting number 1. And now begins the Phoenixing. Yeah, that's not surprising. So, how many Phoenixes are we getting back here? If the answer is 2, I'm in really good shape. If the answer is more than 2, things get awkward. The answer is 3. Well, it's not as bad as 4. Fable transforms. I don't have as much mana as I'd like to work with to try to do Saiba Syphoner stuff. Especially if it's March. March is so wildly inefficient in this matchup. I've given away that I don't have Anger in hand, which allows them to play Dragon's Rage Channeler. Oh, Flameless Bolt is stellar. Enchantment, Sorcery, Land, Planeswalker. Okay, I have Delirium, which means I can block with a Stolen Dragon's Rage Channeler if they go to get the other Phoenix back. Did you know the 4th Expressive Iteration? No, just a Letter Shredder. Okay. Well, that's going to make them discard a card to Narset, which might be what they want if they have another Phoenix. Can't cast another spell here, or else they discard a card to Ledger Shredder. Which doesn't make much sense at this point. Am I supposed to Siphoner in my upkeep? Or do I want to Siphoner on the opponent's turn? Yeah, they're now realizing Ledger Shredder's kind of locked out. Can't Archmage's Charm if I Saiba Syphoner, so what else am I getting? I kind of am like super tempted to do the Saiba Syphoner stuff on their upkeep, but if I draw a spell, that's tough. I think I have enough mana that I can manage, probably. No, because I'm going to activate Narset, and that's likely to hit a spell. I can just get Flameless Bolt. That'll be fine. Oops. Yeah. Okay. And that makes it extra important to Saiba Syphoner, because now I think I'm getting the March. Oh, okay. I'm like super excited about that. Yeah, I think my current goal is March on their upkeep to kill the Ledger Shredder. Maybe I'm supposed to ignore that and I'm just... No. I don't need to March on their upkeep. I just need to activate Saiba Syphoner. Or Reflection targeting Saiba Syphoner before they can draw a removal spell. The question is whether I get Archmage's Charm or Flameblessed Bolt. I'm assuming I'm supposed to get Flameblessed Bolt in all likelihood. Maybe not. Maybe it's just Archmage's Charm. Not for this turn, but for stealing the Dragon's Rage Channeler on a future turn. I do not really want another Archmage's Charm right now. I don't have enough mana to use it. Okay, bonus flooding out is great for me. What do we have at instant speed that's relevant? Nothing? Okay. Nothing is cool. Maybe I'm supposed to march the Dragon's Rage. I mean, they have, what, one more Phoenix remaining? Helix is great. In a position where I'm currently very, very, very close to lethaling the opponent. I believe this is just worth using the charm on. Since I'm representing lethal, even if they have a removal spell in response again. Oop. Alright, I'll take game one. Happy to have it. Alright. Despite winning the game, those come out against Phoenix. You want Baneslayers, Rest in Peace, Mystical Disputes, Shark Typhoon, no, not Fable. Anger. I'm still not entirely certain what I want to do in regards to Portable Hole versus Dovin's Veto quantities. I do sort of want to trim Archmage's Charms. Molten Impacts are good against Crackling Drake. What are they likely to bring in? Chandra. 4 and 6 mana Chandras. That's pseudo beatable. They have 6 targets for Portable Hole. It really is something that I could cut. Is it correct too? Maybe. I'm supposed to value Archmage's Charm over Memory Deluge in this position. I don't know. I might value Dovin's Veto more than Archmage's Charm, to be honest. There's not a lot of creatures that I ever want to counter other than exactly Crackling Drake. Yeah, alright. I think we go for it. Alright, hope to top deck a white source. That's the game plan. Good work, deck. Alright, so we have a plan that involves curving out. It may not be the ideal plan, but it is a plan. I do enjoy when my hands have functional mana. We considered and kept a card on top, so it's not like we're missing land drops here. We're debating if we want to sorcery speed consider depending on which land we want to play. I guess there is one Den of the Bugbear in the deck that can make that matter. March is interesting. I'm definitely supposed to remove this. I don't know whether I'm supposed to do it with Lightning Helix or March. Assuming the existence of Teferi makes me want to hold on to the Lightning Helix. Yeah, Expressive Iteration is good. Land fluting, yeah. Alright, good time to top deck Rest in Peace. Although that gives them a nasty opening to play Chandra. Or they could just not bin any Phoenixes at all, and then I can just not have to worry about playing Rest in Peace and just pass holding open Archmage's Charm instead. 2 Mystical Disputes. 1 Negate. Okay. One Phoenix. Only 1 Phoenix. Second white source for Baneslayer Angel is nice, although I have not found a Rest in Peace, so Unholy Heat is still something that can kill Baneslayer Angel. We have Delirium, so that is already a possibility. I would like to use my Archmage's Charm and get the counterspell out of their hand now. Alternative was cycling Shark Typhoon for 1, but I feel like forcing a Dispute or a Negate when I'm eventually going to have a Teferi is better. Maybe this doesn't play around Chandra as well, but I think when I just pass the next turn with 3 mana, I'm going to kind of give them the same vibes of they don't want to play Chandra anyway. Dispute down, 1 Dispute, 1 Negate remaining. Oh, interesting. Alright, so I'm going to attempt to kill that with a Shark Typhoon for 1, which is pretty weak into Chandra. No, not actually, because I get to respond with Teferi uptick against Chandra anyway. Maybe I'm supposed to Teferi downtick against Chandra? That's not the best, but... No, it's probably Teferi uptick because I have the Lightning Helix. That's pretty awful against Unholy Heat, though. Maybe we draw Dovin's Veto in that situation. Either way, in a world in which they don't play Chandra... That's definitely not a world in which they play Chandra. Okay, so they're looking to get back Phoenixes this turn. And they will... Oh, they don't succeed at getting back Phoenixes. Okay. They can try to protect the Brazen Borrower here with the Unholy Heat. Oh, Anger of the Gods is so good. Okay, well, we could play into Mystical Dispute. I see very little reason to do that when we can just play the Rest in Peace we drew, because we are very lucky. Could put Yorion in hand. I don't think there's enough benefit to that at the moment. 2 Phoenixes are gone. I think that I'm supposed to threaten if they play Chandra. Ooh, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That's interesting. Am I supposed to give them the ability to have mana? I don't think so. Not when it seems like mana is their biggest concern. I can play the Baneslayer now that I have a Rest in Peace down. There's no threat of Unholy Heat on it. They can, at some point, with a red source Chandra, downtick Unholy Heat the Baneslayer. They've gotten rid of an Unholy Heat. Crackling Drake, cool. Baneslayer mostly makes that irrelevant. They're still holding up Mystical Dispute for our Teferi. which is a little bit of a problem, I'm gonna admit. Especially because Fable represents starting to copy the Crackling Drake as a card draw engine. I might have to anger the Fable. Archmage's Charm is cool. Anger gives them an opening to Unholy Heat the Baneslayer. I would have to use Archmage's Charm for that. Which they could Mystical Dispute, but then they've used up their Mystical Dispute. Well, still worth going for. Okay. Phoenix gone. Okay. Sweet. They don't have Unholy Heat. How incentivized am I with them having already played their one Crackling Drake? To Archmage's Charm to draw 2 to try to look for a way to play Teferi through a Mystical Dispute. You don't have Mystical Dispute? Huh. Potentially want to draw into it. Alright, I think I'm okay with this. I don't think that's correct for me to counter. They did have the Mystical Dispute the entire time. Cool. That means they could have drawn into Negate, but not Mystical Dispute. Because they only have 2 Mystical Disputes. So I believe I am supposed to Teferi uptick, holding up Archmage's Charm here rather than draw 2.
Right on schedule. You know what? I'm not.
Okay, fluting his card draw. 6 mana Chandra is actually a pretty big problem here if they drew into it. Kills Baneslayer Angel, allows an attack on Teferi. Yeah, I probably can't beat that at this point. Well, potentially with a Lightning Helix. Drawing off Archmage's Charm if they attack Oxid Teferi, and then I Teferi down to Crackling Drake. What's the starting loyalty? 6. 6 starting loyalty for Awakened Inferno. So they can kill Baneslayer and still leave it around. I think I just want cards at this point, since the thing I'm most scared of is uncounterable anyway. Okay. More Rest in Peace is not helpful. Could Teferi downtick on Crackling Drake. Lets them redraw and replay Crackling Drake. Makes my Teferi vulnerable to an Unholy Heat when I go to play Yorion. Otawara is very interesting. I wonder if I'm supposed to wait to play Yorion until next turn, or if I'm supposed to start clocking my opponent. They can't counter the Yorion here. I believe I'm supposed to play the Yorion this turn and give up on the downtick Teferi, blink Teferi value. could shock to have Otawara up even if my Yorion gets removed, which is difficult for them to do, but I think my life total is mostly irrelevant at this point. Oh, well. Right, Teferi upticked and didn't downtick, so that was unnecessary. But I'm representing more. I'm going to pretend that's, like, correct. I could play the second Rest in Peace to hold around the other Brazen Borrower. Narset is absolutely amazing.
Past, present, and future. Keep an open mind.
Molten Impact is also amazing.
Let's skip to the good part.
Flame Blast Bolt is also amazing. And that just means we're attacking with everybody. Holding up Otawara and Flame Blast Bolt. I don't believe there's any point in playing out Rest in Peace to play around the other Brazen Borrower now. Technically, holding it makes white march a little better. Not that that really matters when I have this much mana, but... Whew! Alright. Love to see it. Alright, need to win one of the next 3 to get an invite back to the next PT. Let's see what we can do. Alright, historic round 13. We are against Izzet Phoenix once more. This one has main deck Spell Pierce. Yes. Alrighty. We get to be on the play. Wow, that's an awful... That is a truly awful hand that doesn't even have good mana. No, that's going to be a mulligan. This is better. Definitely better. Double Sacred Foundries being the only red sources are kind of awkward, because I'm probably supposed to try to play towards Anger of the Gods. Play Irrigated Farmland on turn 1, shock in a Sacred Foundry. So I'm probably supposed to get rid of Irrigated Farmland then? Yeah, I think so. Whoa! Game? Alright, well, we are playing it out. That's pretty unfortunate, but roll with the punches. Alright, only the one Phoenix. That's something. Do we have any Brazen Borrowers game 1? No. Which means
Announcement
I do
received.
wind up hardcasting
Round
Shark
timer
Typhoon.
started.
Would be sticking around, but I don't view that as particularly likely to be a reasonable time frame for this game. No, that seems rather deeply unlikely. Well, there is still a possibility that I top deck Anger the Gods. We're going to hope that that winds up actually being relevant. It is not likely that it winds up being relevant. Alrighty. Molten Impact on a Phoenix. March exiling Teferi, killing another Phoenix. Well, that leaves me not technically dead. And by killing a Phoenix, I mean exiling Dragon's Rage Channeler and killing a Phoenix. I don't feel too bad about how far behind I am because I missed the first turn land drop because of that crash. I'm probably still in a position that would have easily lost to the Arclight Phoenix play here anyway. Yeah. We are dead anyhow. RIP. Alright, so we have 2 Crackling Drakes, 3 Mystical Disputes, 2 Brazen Borrower, 2 Torch Defiance, 1 Awakened Inferno. Okay, mostly the same plan as normal, I think. What did I think last time? Like 2 Archmage's Charms, I think? I think maybe I cut a Memory Deluge too for another Dovin's Veto. Which, yeah, I think I can get behind. Alright, post board, we on the play. Hopefully the game doesn't crash again. Alright, this hand is functional. Okay. You want to dispute this? No. Ooh, both of these are pretty good. I believe I want both of them. Although I don't want to play Narset this turn, really. Mm-hmm. Alright, I would like to draw cards. Is that allowable? I would love for this to get countered. They don't have a very full graveyard, which means I'm okay just playing Narset and not down-ticking it. They do have 2 Fry. That kind of suck. Countering it would say to me that they have a 4th land and a Phoenix. So they're not worried about me having Narset. So the best thing that could happen would be a top deck Flameblast Bolt at that point. Alright, well then I think I just continue playing Drago. On a continuous cantripping. So best case scenario would be that I get to Shark Typhoon for 2 and my opponent doesn't do anything. Expressive Iteration is going to make me want to veto though. I'm kind of into both of these. Lightning Helix to protect the Narset from a Phoenix at some point, although maybe that's probably unnecessary because Fry is the thing that's most likely to kill the Narset. My opponent did miss a land drop here, which is pretty interesting. I think then at this point I can probably just pass, holding up Shark Typhoon for 2 plus Mystical Dispute. Curious that they held that rather than... Oh, right, because they need to represent Mystical Dispute. So that I can't just Narset. Right. Alright, is this the turn we go for a bunch of Phoenixes? Yes, I could Mystical Dispute this, but I don't think that works out well for me. Wow, missing the land drops and then immediately binning lands? That's unexpected. We have land, instant, sorcery, creature. So Delirium to kill the Narset is active. Petty Theft on the 3/3. Cool. Untap land for the Narset. Mystic Dispute to fight over the Narset. No. Just going to Unholy Heat it. Which I can choose to fight over. Do I want to? Mage's Charm and Teferi are both real interesting. I think I would prefer Teferi in this position. Do they have 2 Unholy Heats? I think this is a worthwhile use of the Mystical Dispute, to force them to use the other Unholy Heat when they don't have any Phoenixes in the graveyard yet. They can play Snare Thopter, but I have Teferi. Darcy Fluting, Darcy Heat. Okay. Keep the card on top. Wants to draw it. Okay. Interesting. Well, new plan. Same as the old plan. Try to hit a 1-mana removal spell that'll hit the borrower.
I train every day. No one is more prepared than me with thoughtfulness before action.
Okay. Shark Typhoon's pretty interesting. I've got enough Omen of the Seas at this point that am I supposed to play around Strangle? Probably not. I could hit Mystical Dispute off this. I think I'm supposed to represent that possibility. No. Okay. Do I march the Darcy now? No. Because if they have an Unholy Heat or another Brazen Borrower, I don't want to march anyway. Yeah, okay. So now they send Darcy at face, Borrower at Narset, both at Narset. Oh, because I could be representing two more with March. Okay.
I shall miss your company.
Still representing Dispute. Yeah. 2 disputes? I'm willing to make you pay for it. Okay. Uptick 2 gives me March on Dragon's Rage Channeler to keep the Teferi alive. Force them to have something else. They don't. Cool.
Don't make another move.
Chandra.
Started a sizzle,
And it's gonna be awkward. Down tick for 2 on Teferi, presumably? Yes.
Bye-bye.
Definitely don't want more lands. Shark Typhoon's interesting. Definitely don't want more lands. Wow, okay. So that means no Hall of the Storm Giant attack this turn, which is nice. Did they just board out of Phoenixes? Or am I just getting, like, unreasonably lucky? Interesting.
Aw, looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
Am I even supposed to go for hardcast Shark Typhoon here? I don't think so.
My prowess is unmatched. Hone your prowess.
So I imagine this leads to them chump blocking with Brazen Borrower. They hit the land, so Hall can animate here. I would probably be incentivized to chump it for 1, but I actually have to win the game,
Get toast.
which is going to be interesting. I have exactly enough mana here to march the hall. Oh, I have exactly enough mana to march the hall because I have to march for 0. Cool. Which actually means I get to kill the Chandra. Sweet! Wow. Okay, so... same plan? If they truly boarded out Phoenix, there's no guarantee that they'd actually do that on the draw. And Rest in Peace is still good against only 8 Dragon's Rage, so I don't even think there's a point in them doing that. So I don't think my plan changes at all. We saw no Ledger Shredders, which makes me not interested in having the Portable Holes. Dovin's Veto versus Archmage Charm versus Memory Deluge. I do think I'm probably more interested in Archmage Charm than Memory Deluge. Especially on the draw, although maybe Veto's better. Okay, this is functional. Is it too much to ask that they have a turn 2 Dragon's Rage Channeler? Well, they're not going to have it on turn 1. Alright, alright, alright. They might still have the Spell Pierce, which is going to be brutal, but we do the best with what we got. Please be Opt. Please don't be Spell Pierce. Thank you. Okay. Oh, that Expressive Iteration is so good. Also, like, super likely to bait out the counterspell. Yeah, it is. Alright. No Chandra, please. Play Crackling Drake. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, thank you.
I know 88 ways to meditate.
Alright, Shark Typhoon's good. Fry. Yeah, that's an expensive way for them to use up a Fry that doesn't kill Baneslayer at some point. We'll take it. My life total is high enough that I can afford to start shocking. Land go is excellent. Indicates they have 6 mana Chandra. Am I supposed to start clocking with respect to that? I don't believe so. Oh, those are both excellent. Okay. Do I want to cycle Shark Typhoon for 1 here, or draw 2 with Archmage's Charm on this turn? I believe I would rather draw 2 with Archmage's Charm. I do not mind getting this countered. Okay, fair. So if they play 6 mana Chandra, that has 6 starting loyalty, upticks to 8, means I attack it down to 4, 7, so I will not be able to kill it. Instant creature. Oh wow, we're actually real far away from Delirium. Well, not with the Expressive Iteration sorcery now. That we will dispute. Opponent does not have Dispute or Spell Pierce. But I still do not have the cards in hand necessary to hardcast Shark Typhoon. That's a thought that I was trying to complete. So next turn I can play Yorion. If they attack me for 7, go down to 7, Shark Typhoon for 5. Okay, Chandra's fine. I can attack that with a 5/5 Shark. Depending on what they do with Brazen Borrower, possibly. I might have to attack with a 3/3 and Lightning Helix it. Choose what to do based on priority tells. If they down tick to kill this 3/3 and then Petty Theft my Shark, I can Lightning Helix. Clocking my opponent is relevant here. Shark Typhoon for 3/3 lets me use my mana more efficiently and Lightning Helix the Chandra here at the end of turn, which I think I'm supposed to do. I think I'm actually supposed to do that first. Okay, so that actually does resolve. Petty Theft while I'm tapped out. Otawara is interesting. Holding that is probably... How many Mystical Disputes have you used? 0. Of 3. If I get this Yorion counter this turn, I'm in a lot of trouble. Can I win this game otherwise? I think I gotta go for it. This comes down to a lot. Oh, thank goodness, it's just a cantrip. Alright, Baneslayer is absolutely excellent. Crackling Drake. Yep, but Baneslayer's good against that. Unholy Heat is online. I'm not going to have an answer to it. don't think I can attack into this Crackling Drake. I don't think I can Mystical Dispute this Crackling Drake. Or, well, I would love to Mystical Dispute the Crackling Drake. I don't think I can Mystical Dispute the Brazen Borrower. Fry. I think I need this Baneslayer Angel to win this game. Fire up the hall. Do some damage, trade with Yorion. Am I not attack with Crackling Drake? Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you do. Oh, that march is excellent. Okay. Okay. I'm supposed to cycle Irrigated Farmland there, looking for Lightning Helix, I think. That's pretty good. Alright, double Baneslayer is representing lethal in the air. Mostly want to crack Omen of the Sea at the end of turn, but depending on how they tap, might prefer to hold up Mystical Dispute on Unholy Heat. How many heats have they used? I think the answer might actually be 0. The answer is actually 0. And we most certainly have Delirium. If we fry Baneslayer, Arclight Phoenix. Okay, that's a chump blocker. Don't want either of those. I do want Narset. Sweet. This potentially makes me discard a card for them on their turn with Ledger Shredder. If I take Omen of the Sea. I could also play Teferi and let them loot here, but that doesn't leave me enough mana if they counter Teferi to do anything. I think I just take Teferi and then don't play it. And I kind of think I just swing with both Baneslayers. And probably chump with Ledger Shredder to get out from under Narset? No. Okay. Then I will pass. Do I march to save Narset? I believe that is probably correct. I don't think I want to try to push lethal here. If they get into any kind of... Oh, well, I'm going to a Paper Pro Tour. Well, alright, round 14. We are on the play against Azorius Auras, which means we are prioritizing removal. I don't believe I can throw away this hand. I might have to if I was on the draw, but on the play I'm just allowed to keep Omen of the Sea. Let's see, opponent's on 4 Esper Sentinel, 4 Selfless Savior. I have 2 white 1-drops that if they were to play a Selfless Savior I want to play. So I think that gives me a reason to lead on Sacred Foundry. Would I even actually want to do that if I drew Portable Hold instead of Omen the Sea? I don't think so. So this potentially scares them into not playing a 2-drop unless they have multiple 2-drops. They have multiple 2-drops. Okay. They do not buy me having Lightning Helix. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is actually a really interesting card in this spot, because it represents Teferi next turn. Teferi downticking on SRAM undoes a lot of aura playing that they could do this turn. And start setting up the side of Siphoner lock. I think I want to take that gamble. They have 1 Spell Pierce, but nothing that gives haste. They also have Slip Out the Back as a 3 of. Huh. I wonder if this was a mistake in regards to that. Debating it. Okay, sweet. So, provided we hit our untap land, which is probably likely, we get to downtick Teferi on SRAM. Oh no. Okay. But March on SRAM is pretty good. The missed land drop is super
Announcement
awkward.
received. Round timer started.
But we built up 1 treasure at the very least. Savior card in hand? Flameless Bolt. Oh, okay. Spoilers, that's extremely good. Not an untapped land, unfortunately. I believe I just want to Flameless Bolt this Selfless Savior and get cards out of my hand. The lack of land drops is like deeply weird here. Luris, yeah. Phasing for Luris is a weird problem. If I Reflection target the Goblin, I can filter 1 Sacred Foundry mana into blue. I can Dovin's Veto a Slip Out the Back. I believe I want to do that. And then we get to hold up Archmage's Charm. Excellent land draw. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Wow, what an absurd game. Ah, so glad I kept the Fable of the Mirror Breaker on top. I would have like 1,000,000,000% lost that game otherwise. Okay, what are they boarding into? 3 Dovin's Vetoes, 2 Fleeting Spirits, 2 more Selfless Saviors, and a Spell Pierce. Wow, that's a lot of stuff that I have to deal with. Mystical Dispute probably isn't good. Dovin's Veto usually isn't good. Anger of the Gods is probably something that I have to accept. They have 1 Aether Tunnel, 2 Arcane Flights. Aether Tunnel are like glitters. 4 Staggering Insights for Light Pause in terms of things they can get around Shark Typhoon. I do want the other Shark Typhoon though, because making blockers to protect Narset is a big deal. What do I not want here? Memory Deluge is probably too slow. I believe that. Opponent chooses to be on the play. Not surprising, but we have a very good removal spell and a fine removal spell. Okay, interesting. I believe I'm just supposed to get my mana fixed by playing the second Raugrin Triome. I don't see a strong benefit to holding up anything else here. And attempting to portable hole Fleeting Spirit just results in them losing 1 card anyway. If there's auras on Fleeting Spirit, it's a different story. Light Pause with protection mana held up, huh? That's troubling. Alright, what do you go for here at sorcery speed then, opponent? SRAM. Okay. Put Sentinel's Paws on Light Paw. So if we march Light Paws, don't think that goes where I want it to go. Yeah, Cartouche is annoying. Do I really want to let them draw a card? I think I do. Siphoner's really good. Alright, Spirit down. Opponent has cards in hand. Oh my goodness, thank you, deck. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do they not have anything? Oh my goodness, they don't have anything. I believe I want to cycle Irrigated Farmland here. I think that's worth losing the life. Sweet, I still don't have anything. They have no mystical disputes, so I'm okay waiting on this Saiba Syphoner. Sentinel is fine. Believe I prefer Flame Blessed Bolt to March of Otherworldly Light here for mana efficiency's sake. Putting Yorion in hand means Spell Pierce counters Mystical Dispute if I go to pay for Esper Sentinel. I don't actually want to trade Saiba Syphoner for Esper Sentinel. I am willing to get this spell pierced. Yeah. Because I can still just blink Syphoner. Get March. March Luris later. I have blockers, so I'm not in immediate danger. I mean, they could combo me off, I guess, and kill me with Luris that's unblockable. That's possible. Losing the Yorion would be annoying because it would make Otawara cost more. Sentinel's Eyes on the Sentinel. Okay. No. Unblockable Luris is a problem. Okay. Well, we have Otawara for that. I have to let them draw a card if I want to answer Luris through... What am I afraid of? Dovin's Veto? I could just exile the Aether Tunnel? After they attack with Luris? And not have to shock? I believe I prefer that. It requires them drawing a card. Okay. Oh, I could have shocked to stop them from drawing this card. That was worth it. Shoot. My Yorion phases out and forces me to chump block with Saiba Syphoner. Okay. Syphoner shuffles back into my deck. I get to Otawara, bounce the Solid Footing, kill Luris. Put Solid Footing in hand. I could bounce the Portable Hole? We actually exiled the unblockable enchantment, so that can't come back. Bouncing the Portable Hole kills one of their light paws. I Portable Hole the other light paw. Have a blocker for Luris that they can't do anything about. Yeah, I think that's better. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was a game-losing mistake, because now they can lure us back the light paws. Okay, Lightning Helix is excellent. More light paws. Okay. Fair enough. Still can't get unblockable, because I've already dealt with that. I can Anger the Gods, both of them? Do I care about that more than Expressive Iteration? I believe so. Okay, they don't have anything with Flash or Haste. Time to start trying to kill them. I'm certainly low on card draw at this point. Deck, I love you. March to hand. Siphoner to exile. Shoot, okay. I knew that there was a way I was supposed to do that, I just did it the wrong way. Take Flameless Bolt, it kills everything in their deck. Yeah, Selfless Savior is something that they can put auras on. I guess I just have to Flameless Bolt that. Not getting Expressive Iteration is scary, but I think I'm just supposed to go for 2 removal spells with the clock that I've got. You can't draw cards with this Spirit Dancer because of Narset. Do not want to go for the March right now. Oh, I have more information. Currently, oh, the Spirit Dancer has Vigilance. This doesn't make sense. I shouldn't have let them draw. I was expecting it was going to get tapped and I could save the March for something else. But if they save the Spirit Dancer by phasing it, then they die on the backswing. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know if I played that right, but I'll take it. Thank you, deck. I love you. I love you. Ah. I might be in the top 8 if I win the next one. Let's not jinx it. Alright, round 15 against Azorius Affinity. On the draw. You gotta win, and then try to figure out the tiebreaker math. 2 Sacred Foundries is pretty awkward, but March of Otherworldly Light and Narset are good cards. Do not love turn 1 Esper Sentinel. Oh, I really don't love double Esper Sentinel. That's going to make my life incredibly complicated. Okay, that will continue to make my life hyper complicated. Shark Typhoon, cycling to kill an Esper Sentinel is something. Opponent missed a land drop. Can't play Thought Modder yet. 1 artifact short. Shocking and passing on 3 is a little bit telling. The opponent's probably aware there's a Shark Typhoon tomfoolery.
Announcement received. Round timer started.
Thought Monitor. Yep. 4/4 gets in. More Siphoners, but I haven't actually played a spell yet. Do I want to march the Sentinel? On their upkeep? Probably. I wish this Expressive Iteration wasn't in my hand. My hand would be a lot better without it. Alright, So they can Metallic Rebuke me, but that at least stops them from having Thought Monitor. And there's the Rebuke. Do they have an artifact to play to trigger Ingenious Smith and get in? Okay. Yes. Yes, they do. Flandra? No. Flameless Bolt, which is not exciting or helpful at all. You. How am I getting out of this? I believe the answer is that that is completely impossible. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, that was not as functional a hand as I would like. That is way too many Esper Sentinels. How many blue cards do they have? Am I supposed to bring in Mystical Dispute? I don't know. Am I supposed to bring in Farewell? I don't know. I don't believe that I'm supposed to bring in Dovin's Veto. Don't believe I'm supposed to bring in Rest in Peace. Do they bring in Rest in Peace? No, they might bring in Hearse, but that's not really the end of the world. So Farewell, Mystical Dispute, Shark Typhoon, and Anger are all sort of interesting. Farewell is cute, but I almost wonder if they have access to too much counter magic for it to be what I'm supposed to do. So much as just something that I could hypothetically threaten. That game made Shark Typhoon look interesting, but also like not very valuable, because they kind of just played around it successfully. I'm gonna go with one Farewell. Now do we play Veto? Or Dispute? I don't think I play Dispute. I don't believe that there are enough cards that that's good against. Anger? I think I'm cutting a Memory Deluge for a Shark Typhoon. I feel like being able to put a blocker into play to protect a Narset is often good. Being on the draw, it wasn't good against multiple Esper Sentinels there, but there's a lot of other times where it could be. Take the play. Alright. I'm willing to keep Lightning Helix on too. Could be better, could be worse. Flame Blast Bolt or Portable Hole would be good. For answering Esper Sentinel. 4 Esper Sentinels scare me. Well, let's protect the life total. Maybe I'm supposed to play Spirebluff Canal there to play around Archmage's Charm on turn 4? I don't know how much that is relevant compared to preserving my life total. Not much I can do but try to be reactive at this point. Treasure Vault, Bankbuster. Okay. So at this point, I imagine that after game 1, Shark Typhoon is on their mind. Treasure Vault, not producing colors is interesting. Kind of restricts them on what they're able to play here, while still holding up counter magic. If they don't end up swinging with Esper Sentinel, I'm probably going to Lightning Helix their Sentinel. No, they find blue mana. Okay. Complicated. Bankbuster. Okay. But that doesn't let them actually activate the Bankbuster. I don't really want to cast this Helix into what looks like counterspell mana. Not on a turn where my opponent can't use this mana anyway. Marches Stellar, Marches Stellar. Oh, delightful. Alright, let's go ahead and tax my opponent's mana. Yeah, this is something you're allowed to do. Do you counter this, opponent? We do. Yeah, it's fine. I still want this to happen because you don't want it to happen. I could have done that on their turn, but then they get to actually untap with the land and use it for Reckoner Bankbuster. Red mana. For what? Oh, Gigantha. Sure. Okay. Nettle Assist. Inconvenient. Yes. Oh, that's cute. Cruise Bankbuster. That's pretty adorable. Hmm. I don't think I wanted to go for Sorcery Speed Memory Deluge there, but maybe I was supposed to. Shark Typhoon for 3, trade with a Bankbuster also doesn't seem wicked appealing. How many answers to a hardcast Shark Typhoon do they have? Moonsnare Prototype? Yes. How many counterspells am I to expect? Do I want a Helix Sentinel just to take them off mana? No, I believe I Memory Deluge. And just eat a counterspell. There's the negate, all the mana gone. Otawara is cute. pretty excellent, but I can only play a limited number of them per turn. I think Lightning Helix is the one that I probably want to play this turn. Then hold on to the little March. I don't think this 1 damage will matter this turn, but... I mean, I don't think that I'm supposed to block with the Shark, because protecting Narsets later on is still a big deal. Whisper Sentinel's annoying. Draw 1 card here, then draw another. Do you go for drawing another? Helix, pay for it, march this token. No, the Nettle Cyst is too valuable with the Bankbuster in play anyway. So I think the answer is that I Helix the Sentinel and then march the Reckoner Bankbuster that can draw the most cards. Or do I do the one that's closest to making a Crewer? I believe I go for the one that can draw more cards. For Karn downtick? Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Karn downtick, attack with Bankbuster. Yeah, both Bankbusters pretty hard to handle. When it's still holding up counter magic. I'm probably not winning this one. So if we play Fable, we get a 2/2. Fable gets countered, that's a pretty big problem. I think playing Fable might be playing more towards winning, because flipping Fable is like ostensibly a win con, but I don't think that I'm anywhere near likely to be able to accomplish that. Yeah, Karn being able to downtick twice is so good. I'm gonna have to find a removal spell just to stop Bankbuster from killing me now? Yeah, kind of. That's pretty harsh. Well, no, Bankbuster doesn't deal 5, so 2 blockers actually is enough. Yeah. but no, I can't win this. Well, at least it was a thorough smashing. Oh, wait, hold on. I could draw into Farewell. If they don't have a counterspell somehow. Also, Otawara is mostly lethal. Moonsnare Prototype also does it. Okay, so playing Fable actually might have gotten me there? Probably not. They probably still had a counterspell.